Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WHCC Expo booth at Imaging USA 2025. We're hanging out with Sarah Jane today, so thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
She graciously volunteered to be on camera today.
Yes, got voluntold.
Voluntold, yes, that's a great thing to say. Okay, so we've been friends for a very long time, and you had a very successful business in Oriana, Illinois, and then in 2020-ish, you decided to move closer to where your family roots were and moved to Columbia, Missouri.
Yes,
So
we pulled the ripcord.
Yes, and you have really transitioned into growing the brand in a completely different market.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing.
It is a huge thing, yes.
So for everybody that's listening along, you're still in the thick of it, but there's a lot of this that has already transitioned.
Absolutely.
What are some of the tips that you would have for somebody that's recreating in a new place, new state, new city?
I think we really had to learn. I had to learn how to be open to grow things differently. We're still Midwest. Going from Illinois to Missouri is not a coastal shift. But that market and that in Columbia is completely different. And so being open to where the flow was going, and for our case, that was very corporate, small business direction versus our Illinois studios still remaining very teen and senior focused, and being open to that shift that the market was telling me where the opening was, and still knowing we're not stepping away from portraiture, personal portraiture, but we're growing our market share in a much different way. I described it to you as planting seeds. We're planting seeds in a different area than how we started in Illinois to still grow the same eventual brand.
Absolutely, and you're using the commercial side to feed the portrait side.
Absolutely, it's my introduction. Our new market is meeting me as a branding and commercial photographer and giving me a chance then at a later time I can introduce myself directly to them as a very hot lead because they know what it's like to work with me to then venture into their family and their teens and their seniors.
Absolutely. And for everybody watching, Sarah's a lovely human being and she's very type A. Very organized, and you really thought through this process before you put a step forward.
Yes.
But with all the planning and all the thought and all the discussions and the meetings and everything, there's still a navigation that has to happen. And for those of you that are moving or have moved and are struggling or having a hard time or vastly successful, you have to be prepared for those things and follow where that's going.
I think you have to be open to what the market is telling you, listening. They can't dictate how you're going to do everything, but just listening to what they're telling you they need, where the space is that you can move into without a lot of friction or resistance, but then also listening to what makes you light up.
Right.
So then I was then getting very excited about our new market has a very vibrant small business community that is very passionate about growth and community connection. And that really lit me up and excited me. So no reason to try to force my business to grow in the same way when I was excited about this direction. But had I thought, no, I'm a teen and senior photographer and not let myself be open to a different identity definition, or thinking then I had to move my other studio location away from that brand identity because it still very much is. Just feeling open to it can be different, it can look different under the same brand. They still get me, they still get the same experience, but we market completely different in both areas.
Yeah, and I think a really important takeaway, and we've talked about this several times, is that you're doing a lot of things in person. You are, like you said, you're the face of the brand. You are out working in the community, you're networking, you're involved in a lot of things outside of photography. So, relying on an email marketing campaign or on social media or on things that could potentially change and the algorithm changes and then you don't have the connection. You have to have that human connection.
Yes.
That's what we do.
It's been eye-opening to see how much, because I'm a big proponent of being everywhere in your market. I do all the things, social media, online, landing pages, email. But seeing it real time, the shift, how easy it is to build your brand again when you are in the community and you're making those personal connections, it's a lot easier to maintain that when you are in the community versus the market that I'm not there every day. And I'm relying on them seeing me online, versus them seeing me at a coffee shop or walking in and attending their business events and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. It's always a pleasure. We really hope that you've enjoyed this interview with Sarah Jane, and I'm sure if you have any questions for her, put them into the comments, and I'm sure she would be happy to answer them.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Enjoy the show, and we'll be back with you soon.